5 secrets of investing in real estate in Northern Cyprus. Every year, more and more people are buying real estate in Northern Cyprus, and most of them are purchasing as an investment in order to make a profit. But lately, we've been seeing a lot of reviews online, on social media, and even in the comments under our videos where people share stories. Not only did they not make money, but they actually lost money on this. And to me, it's really surprising. How is it even possible to lose money in such a growing, undervalued real estate market? It's like discovering oil or striking a gold vein and still not making any money from it. So, to make sure you personally don't let gold slip through your fingers and miss out on earning from this, right now I'm going to share 5 secrets to help make your investment successful. Be sure to watch this video until the end. At the end, I'll explain how your personal assessment, your own attitude toward a property, can ruin everything and lead you to lose money. Most often, people lose money when investing in real estate in Northern Cyprus because they can't resell the property. Even though there are more buyers than sellers, and even though our company loses 2 or 3 deals a week simply because we can't find what our buyers need, there still aren't enough properties on the market, and yet someone says we can't resell, we have to sell at a big discount. How is that possible? I just can't wrap my head around it. And that's what we're going to talk about today. I'll share 5 secrets to make sure our investors never face these kinds of problems. When you enter into an investment, when you start it, you must immediately have an exit strategy in place. You need to know exactly how you will exit this investment, who you will sell or rent it to, through whom you will do it, when you will do it, and under what conditions you will do it. You should have this plan in place even before you spend a single penny on this property. For example, very often people bring us real estate properties they previously invested in and say, please help us sell them, we can't sell them. The people we bought through don't answer calls, don't pick up the phone, or simply don't deal with resales. So we've come to you, but that's not how it works. We don't sell people what we want to sell, or just the product that we have. We always select exactly what best matches our buyers' wishes, what solves their needs. And if your properties which you bought for some reason, we honestly don't understand why anyone would buy them or who could possibly be interested in them. If you give us such properties, no matter how much you love them yourself, we simply won't sell them to anyone if absolutely nobody needs them. Yes, there are properties that our buyers just don't need. No one has ever requested a property in exactly this category from us. Therefore, even though we are experienced and dedicated real estate sales professionals, we want to assure you that we won't ever push your properties onto our buyers simply because you need to get your money out quickly and make a profit. Instead, we will always offer our buyers exactly what best matches their unique needs and preferences and what will truly make them happier and more satisfied in the long run. You're absolutely right to turn to knowledgeable and trustworthy professionals at a reputable real estate agency for guidance and support. Mati, I'm glad you don't have the illusion that you bought a property and it will sell itself, because there are a lot of people like that on the market. They get confused. There are products like bread and milk. They just get picked up in the store. They're not really sold. They sell themselves. You don't need to run an advertising campaign for them or explain what these products are. Everything else needs to be sold. But in that case, you should find professionals before you spend your money and ask them, I have this amount, I want to invest, and at some point I want to earn this much. And based on your request, you need to select, find, and purchase a property, if we can find one. The next secret is that you need to make your profit when you buy the property, not when you sell it. I very often hear from developers, look, I sold studio apartments for £200,000, for £250,000. I ask, who bought those dozens of apartments from you? Well, some Russians came and bought them. And why did they buy them? They want to resell them. I say, comrade, but you do realize they will never be able to resell them for that kind of money, because for that amount, you can already buy a house in Northern Cyprus. You can buy an apartment in a better location. You can buy a larger apartment. When you make a purchase, that's the moment you earn. If you overpay today hoping that the price will go up, most likely you will lose on this investment, because yes, the price will go up. But if today you've already bought at a price higher than the current market, you'll have to wait many years for it to rise. And then you'll also have expenses for taxes, and then you'll have costs for advertising and selling. And then as time passes, the finishes will no longer be as modern, and you will really lose money on this investment. That's why you should earn when you buy, not when you sell. If you've already found a property to purchase, be sure to visit our company's website. The links are in the description below this video, and check out the current market prices to get your bearings, and make sure you're not overpaying today, no matter what golden promises your agency or developer might be making. The link to our website is in the description of this video. Third secret, always shift all possible risks onto others. Try to secure a guaranteed income, for example, from renting. Try to obtain buyback terms with guaranteed profit for yourself. Be sure to check that the transactions of this agency are insured by an insurance company, so that if you lose money, okay, It might take some time, but the insurance company will fully compensate you 100% for everything you lost if, God forbid, you do incur those losses. That is, always, in any situation, shift the responsibility onto others, because you yourself are not a professional in this matter. We, for example, as professionals with 20 years of experience, always sign a contract, a very detailed contract, that states all responsibility for the transaction and its processing lies with us, not with the buyer. Also, every transaction made by our company is insured for 400,000 euros. So, when working with us, it's basically impossible to lose your money. The fourth secret, I always recommend buying real estate as an investment at the construction stage. First of all, you will save at least 30 to 40% compared to already completed properties. Secondly, you will get an interest-free installment plan. In Northern Cyprus, you can get an interest-free installment plan for up to 9 years. So you keep investing, and you don't pay any interest. During this time, the value of properties in this complex, in this location, increases. Even if it grows by 10% per year, over 9 years, that's already a 90% increase. And in the end, you get a brand new, stylish property with modern finishes, which costs much less than similar new projects in the same area or even in the same complex 9 years later. Simply because prices are constantly rising, and here you are guaranteed to make a profit. You might say to me, well, if I buy a finished property now, I can rent it out and earn income from that. But considering that you will overpay if you compare buying during construction to buying a finished property, you'll pay 30 to 40% more. It's unlikely that you'll be able to earn that amount from rent during the construction period over those few years. You might say to me, well, okay, if I buy a finished property now, I'll be able to come here once or twice a year and relax. First of all, those 30 to 40% difference between a property under construction and a finished one is, in any case, much more than the cost of staying in a rented apartment here in Northern Cyprus. And secondly, as a rule, we can almost always arrange with the developer so that this vacation, 1 or 2 trips a year, will be free for you. The developer will pay for it for you and provide you with equivalent accommodation. So there are no hidden pitfalls here. But if you buy at the construction stage, you immediately save 30 to 40% compared to the price of a similar finished property. Which, by the way, follows from the previous secret when I told you that you need to make money when you buy, not when you sell. No, there is no such thing in Northern Cyprus. And moreover, if we see that the developer is having issues, even if they have always been reliable but now have become problematic, at the moment we have 5 major construction companies that are indeed experiencing problems right now, and we are aware of this. Accordingly, as of today, we have suspended working with them. We don't talk about this anywhere on social media, we don't damage their reputation, but we know that these are problematic developers. And we're tired of having to solve our buyers' problems with these developers using lawyers or our own money. If a property is problematic, under no circumstances will we sell it, because first and foremost, that would just create problems for ourselves. After all, it's the buyers who will come to us with these issues. And I also don't see any reason to sell a problematic property when there is such a large and diverse selection of locations, developers, and real estate options on the market. And the 5th secret is about the significant role our emotions play when choosing real estate. They can either help us or, on the contrary, harm us. You should buy not what you personally prefer or enjoy, but what is in demand on the market. Something that we can later resell and make money for you on that resale, and vice versa. It has often happened in our practice that we offer an excellent investment, but our client says, well, I just don't like this complex. And they give some reasons of their own, which in reality have nothing to do with the facts. And as a result, they miss the opportunity to profit from this excellent investment, and their money doesn't work at all. Or they buy something about which we actually have doubts as to whether we can resell it or not. For example, the very best complex in Northern Cyprus, the very best resort complex. In my personal opinion, there has never been anything better, and I think there never will be. There are no properties left there. Sometimes a resale pops up, which buyers immediately snap up. So I don't consider this very best resort complex, where my family vacations, to be the best investment for a number of reasons. On the contrary, the best investment property isn't even located on the first line by the sea. But from the perspective of making money, it is the very best. That's why it's essential to set emotions aside, look at the numbers, and in this way, make the right decision, earn money, and grow wealthy together.